Right then. All right. It's early Sunday here. Scrunch is still upstairs sleeping. But it's a new day. I haven't checked the weather to see what it's going to be like. I think it's going to be colder today than it was yesterday. But there's stuff that's got to be done after church. Now I've been watching my weather guys trying to get a handle on what the weather pattern is coming up for the next couple of weeks. Because like I said, when it comes to my Jeep, I don't want to put the snow tires on before necessary, because I don't want to melt them off. Yeah. I got a screaming deal on a set of Blizzaks, Bridgestone Blizzak snow tires, mounted on Jeep rims. Less than 3/4 wear, or 1/4 wear. They were pretty much brand new. Only ran 2 seasons, if that. I think. I can't remember. It was a couple of years ago I picked them up. If I'm going to have this Jeep for a while, which it looks like, I want to keep those tires in good shape because they're critical for snow and ice winter driving. Well, if I put them on too early and I'm spending a lot of time driving on dry pavement, warm dry pavement, they're going to melt away because they're real soft rubber compound. So the timing is critical. But about the time I get the timing wrong, and we get some freezing rain, or we get a couple inches of snow that they don't plow and everybody drives on and it turns to ice, I'm in serious trouble, because the mud tires, they don't work on ice or snow. They're dangerous. Yeah. So therefore, I gotta time it out just right. So I'm gonna study some more long weather trends here from some experts on YouTube and try to get a handle on it before I switch them out. Now, another thing I gotta do is an oil change on the Jeep. I gotta put my super additive in the oil like I do every time. That makes a big difference in prolonging the life of an engine, is that Justice Brothers engine tune. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't even know I exist, but that stuff's amazing. I've watched it in action, and I swear by it. So we'll add a little can of that stuff to the oil to increase the lubricity in the engine. Yeah. So those are some things I got to accomplish today. Scrunch was on a tear yesterday. She did a good job of cleaning up the items that I have for sale that I'm going to put on Facebook Marketplace. I'm selling a set of 5 stock wheels that came with my Jeep when I bought it. I'm selling the fitted padded Jeep cover that I used to cover the Jeep with during the winter when I was driving the winter beater. I'm selling a bicycle wind trainer that I used to use when I was riding bicycle. I have a refrigerated water cooler system. I'm going to sell that. I have a under-the-counter beverage refrigerator, like a wine cooler thing. And of course I have a snowplow for an ATV, and I have that washer and dryer set. And like I said, I'm going to list these things for blowout prices just to get rid of them. Last time I was posting them, I was trying to make money for the down payment on this house, and the stuff wasn't moving. This time, get it out of here. So, she did a really good job yesterday, worked her ass off, cleaning all that stuff up, washing it, cleaning it, getting it ready for sale. So, that's awesome. That stuff is currently sitting out in my driveway. It didn't rain last night, so I just left it sit out in the driveway. But it's all pretty much ready to go. So that's awesome. So today, after church, I'll do what I need to do on the Jeep. And then after that, I'm going to start laying out the shop. I'm going to draw up a blueprint. I'm going to figure out where I want my receptacles on the walls, where I want my lights. Start to put together a material list so I can go in and price materials. Scrunch said she'd be a sweetheart and she would fund the cost of the materials to do the shop. Might take a trip to Menards in Rhinelander after I've assembled the list and price it out. Just run around with a clipboard and a piece of paper and calculator and add everything up and see what I need, how much it's going to cost. If there's any time left in the day, I'm going to pull the scarifier machine off the wall. I'm going to go out here in the front yard and I'm going to try it out and see how it works for roughing up the surface this music's got to go. It's too early in the morning for techno. Here we go. Techno music. There we go. I'm gonna rough up the surface on the track and see how the scarifier machine does at prepping the surface to make a racetrack. You guys have no idea how happy I am that I got that fish grip moved, positioned where I want it, and marked the way I want it. That was a successful mission. That was really bugging me. Sacrificing a 1970s vintage amphibious ATV, a rare one, sinking it in a lake for fish structure, and then having it go down in the wrong spot really bothered me. So getting that thing moved, that was huge for me. Yeah. And I've pretty much got it exactly where I want it and where it's going to be very productive for ice fishing and summer fishing. Off the dock, it's straight off the dock now, as you saw in the video yesterday, which is where I wanted it. When you're fishing on the dock, like Scrunch and I like to do for panfish, we're gonna have to go to a slightly bigger setup. Right now, this past spring, we were using micro stuff, little tiny bobbers, little tiny jigs, and as a result, it was very successful, as you saw. Fish hand over fist. But with that microlight gear, we can't cast out very far. And now that this fish crib is probably 30 yards off the dock, off the end of the dock, we won't be able to reach it. So we're gonna have to step up the game a little bit, using more weight on our lines, on the equipment, which means bigger, more buoyant bobbers, and then more weight down near our baits, just so we have the velocity to cast out that far. Yeah. So we'll change up our tactics in the spring to accommodate the greater distance that we got to cast. But for ice fishing, so now that I know where the crib is, because I created that big buoy with the rod on it, sticking up like a flag. Once the ice freezes that buoy in, which sounds like it could happen this next week, and that flag is sticking up above the snow, I'll know exactly where the crib is, because the buoy is in the crib. I mean, the weight that I used, I took one of the big brake rotors that I had that I took off my Jeep as a weight and tied the rope to that and dropped it down, and I'm hooked in the machine. So the cord is coming straight up, and the buoy is right over the top. It couldn't have worked out. The whole thing couldn't have worked out more perfect. Yeah, okay, so it was a nightmare to get to that point. Frustrating. But it ended up being perfect. So now when I go out there in the winter, I'll drill a series of holes around that crib, that brush pile, and put all my tip down rods around that. It's gonna be insane. The rods are gonna be dropping. Like, it's the only structure in the lake. Yeah. It's gonna be, the rods will just be dropping. Yeah, it's gonna be non-stop action. And then on the outer periphery is where I'll put my tip-ups for pike. Because the big boys are gonna come in, they're gonna come sliding into that crib, and they're gonna hang around the outside of it, looking for an opportunity to get one of those little crappies to dart in there and grab one. Although they don't do much darting in the winter because they're so lethargic. But I'll place my tip-ups in a circle around on the outside to intercept the predator fish as they're coming into the crib looking for an easy meal. It's gonna be off the chain. So stay tuned for that. So I just woke up this morning. That's the first thing I thought about, and how awesome it turned out. Yeah. That crib is now away from the swimming beach area. So if people do come here and do go swimming, they're not going to accidentally swim into that thing and get all freaked out because there's slimy tree branches grabbing at their legs. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's perfect. Super stoked. Kate and Rob. It's over. Yep, it's done. I'm not actually sure how it imploded yesterday, what the final straw was, but one thing that I remember that happened was Kate told Rob to move out. I'm not really sure what instigated that. He sent me the text message thread, and she said, "Move out now." So, he is. Yesterday, she was pissed because she had plans to go hang out with this female friend, supposedly, who she will not introduce Rob to. There's a warning sign. There's no pictures of this chick. Supposedly, chick. And she will not bring her to the house. Which is weird, because she was willing to store a camper for this person at their house. But she won't bring the person to the house so Rob can meet her. Very suspicious. Another suspicious thing that happened was Kate did offload the Life 360 app off her phone and then reinstalled it, reinvited everybody from the family circle back into the 360, except for Rob, but did not turn on her tracking. She's got something to hide. So that's very suspicious. Rob doesn't think she's going to bring a new guy to the house because there's a lot of stuff in the house that screams that Kate is married. But what people don't realize is that snakes in the grass that are banging some chick, they don't care if that person is married or not. Oh, look who's awake. You don't have any pants on? Oh, join the vlog. Come on over. Have a seat. Kick your legs up. Spread them wide. Relax. Yeah, no, I'm filming. We're live right now.
You are not posting.
We're live.
You are not posting that.
I have to post it. There's like 30 minutes prior to your grand entrance that is good
down,
material.
please?
I can't turn that down. That's too loud for you?
Yeah, I can hear it upstairs.
Oh, it's nice soothing music. It didn't lull you back to sleep?
No.
No? It woke you up? Is setting 6 good on the volume, my princess? Oh, she sticks out her tongue so cute. She goes, I love it.
Will you stop?
Why? I'm bragging you up.
Not on the vlog.
Not on the vlog? Do a little walk by the stools over there, would you?
No.
Come on. Anyway, back to the story. So Kate's
Pause that.
not gonna bring. I can't pause it because then I gotta do another episode.
I didn't know.
You're trapped. So you might as well just, unless you want to do the walk of shame, and go back that way so we can look at the hiney. Are you wearing bloomers? You got bloomers on?
Yes, give me the plate.
Well, then what's the problem? It's like having a swimsuit on. get to look at your supple buttocks.
Oh, I'm gonna hurt you.
She's gonna hurt me. Hopefully it's in a good way. But anyway, so she can't believe me. She's never met a creature like me before. So Rob's thinking Kate's not going to bring the guy to the house because there's all kinds of stuff in the house that screams she's married. But if it's some shady whatever, man whore, he's not going to care if she's married. Just like she didn't care when she was with me twice that I was married. And I pointed that out to Rob. She doesn't have morals and ethics. She tries to make herself look like she's an upstanding, ethically moral woman. She had 2 situationships with me while I was married. Didn't matter. But Rob has switched gears now in his attitude. And it's gone from I love her, I'm in love with her, I want this to work, I'm going to try, to pretty close to hate. Yep. Calling her an effing bitch. All kinds of stuff. He was out and about yesterday. He went down and hung out with his biker friends for a while. Behaved himself. And they want him to join the club. He can't dedicate enough time to something like that. But anyway, so he spent some time with those boys, and then he went to the bank and got a separate account. He went and looked at an apartment. He put in an application for that apartment. He got the ball rolling. So he finally put his money where his mouth is, and started taking some action on this. That pissed Kate off because, number one, I don't think she thought he was bluffing. Yeah. Number two, she's never had a guy stand up to her before. She's never had a guy walk away from her. She's always done the walking. Yep. So in her mind, she has elevated herself to a position of power over men. And she thinks that based on previous experience of previous relationships, the man is going to grovel, beg for as long as possible to try to keep her until she drops the axe on him. And Rob did a preemptive strike, essentially, and is dumping her. He's had enough. So therefore, she's blindsided. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. She got a taste of her own medicine, and it's freaking awesome. Now, there's no way in hell she's keeping the house. Unless, here's a caveat we didn't think of. During the divorce, if she tries to claim alimony. Yep. Now, Rob tells me that they both make very close to around the same amount of money. If that's the case, she won't get it because she doesn't need it. Alimony is for women in the relationship who are either homebodies and they're a housewife and they're not working and the husband's taking care of everything, or women who have a substantially less income than the man, and with the man's departure, it's going to put them into hardship for daily survival. That's the purpose of alimony. People abuse the alimony system all the time. They don't need it, they claim it, somehow they get it, and then they're out there buying fancy cars and stuff. You know what I mean? You see them on social media buying fancy clothes and stuff, using husband's alimony. None of the alimony is going for the day-to-day living expenses like food, rent, stuff like that. Well, in Kate and Rob's case, since they make close to, if not pretty near the same amount, she's not going to be entitled to claim for alimony. But that's the only way she'd be able to keep the house, is if she was getting that extra income from Rob after the divorce. But that's the only way she can keep it. Otherwise, nope. She doesn't make enough money. The refinance to drop the interest rate to make the house payment more manageable requires Rob to play on Team Kate and sign alongside her as husband and wife to make that happen. Now the situation is Rob wants off the mortgage and off the deed on the house. Let her have it. She can it's her nightmare. Since that is her prized possession and she's desperate to not lose it, she's going to lose it. The house is going to have to go on the market for sale because she can't afford it. And she's going to have to make the mortgage payment. Technically, so will Rob. But Rob is going to intentionally default and not pay his half. Because in this day and age, it doesn't take long to rebuild your credit. So if your credit is destroyed, like by a situation like this, it doesn't take long to build it back up. Roughly 4 years. Well, look at my situation. I got my divorce. The ex-wife kind of sort of destroyed my financial reputation by defaulting on some of my loans, tapping out my credit card and not paying it, things like this. When I got divorced, my credit score was in the 400s. And within the span of 4 to 5 years, I built it up into the 7s. So it can be done. It's not the end of the world. So Rob's willing to do that. Rob has what he wants. He has a nice newer truck. He has his Harley. He has his tools. For now, he's happy. No other expenses and he has his enclosed car trailer. So he doesn't have a need for anything requiring credit. He's done some preliminary number crunching of his expenditures after he separated, and the apartment, the rental house that he looked at, that he found out east, which is close to where he works, it's a perfect setup for him. Although I'd like him to buy my trailer, that's not in his best interest. It's not good for him, so I'm okay with it, right? But the house that he found for rent is a small 1-bedroom house with a 1-car garage. $625 a month rent. Not bad. So, and it's in the town that his truck terminal is located. So he can park his big rig at the terminal parking lot. And he has just a short 15, 20-minute drive to work every day. Perfect. So, Well, not every day, but on the weekends when he drives out and when he comes home. So he can afford that rental house plus his other debts and still be ahead. So it's a win-win for him. Kate, not a chance. So right now they were trying to get a refi on the house to drop the interest rate and make the house payment less. Now it has to be a total rewrite of the mortgage, a whole new mortgage, which essentially means Kate is going to be applying for a new mortgage for a 300 or 400 and some $1,000 house on a minimalistic income with existing debt. Ain't gonna happen. Yep, not gonna happen. So she's screwed, and she did it to herself by dragging out a simple, fixable argument, fight, and making it, blowing it up, and fatalizing, as a fatalist, she did it again, fatalizing a perfectly good marriage, well-rounded marriage, over nothing. Scrunchy seems to think she's bored. Kate and Rob have been together 6 years, and she's seeming to think that it's become mundane, like most marriages do. But if that's the case, and Kate wants a new thrill, she's shot herself in both feet, because now she's going to be pretty near homeless. Yep, she can't buy my trailer because she has too many pets. She's a dog collector. There's another financial expenditure that's, in my mind, ridiculous. You have a soft spot for animals, for critters, and you want to adopt everything that you see and rescue every downtrodden animal that you come across, from rabbits to cats to dogs to whatever's. You got to feed all that stuff. You got to pay for medical treatment for all that stuff. Nobody factors that in. No. Oh, yeah, it's nice to adopt a dog and have a dog curled up in front of your fireplace, and oh, it's a warm, fuzzy Hallmark, moment. Norman Rockefeller painting. But nobody factors in the cost associated with adding another child to your family. So Kate has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs. Her daughter has the same problem. The daughter is a clone of mommy, so a product of her environment. So the daughter has adopted. The daughter's work is a broke loser. Has adopted 2 dogs, and of course, mommy didn't disapprove and tell her no because mommy is wired the same way. So the daughter finds a dog. Oh, Mom, I want to rescue this dog. It needs help. Oh, yeah, bring him home. Bam. Another mouth to feed. Nobody factors that in. It's a sad day when you're walking out of Walmart with 100-pound bags of dog food over your shoulder. You got a problem. So, Kate can't buy and live at my trailer. She has too many pets. And when she gets a pet, she doesn't get rid of it until it passes away. So she's hamstrung herself, essentially. She's limited, severely limited her options for a place to go. Yep. Most places, rental places, have a 1 pet rule. In some cases, 2, if it's small critters like rabbits or cats or stuff like that. But they're not going to allow a kennel full of dogs. Nope. She screwed herself. Mm-hmm. So she's done. Rob's done. Yep. He went home. I got a text on my phone last night around 10:35. I told him to let me know when he got home safe. I'm home, and I gave Kate the same treatment she gives me. I walked in the house and looked at her and I said, "Dang, you make my skin crawl." And I went to bed. He's playing tough. Yep. The switch has flipped in Rob's head. And this is good. And this is most definitely throwing Kate for a loop because this was not supposed to happen in Kate's disillusioned fantasy that she's playing in her head like a movie. Yeah. It was supposed to be Rob was, "I'm sorry, I promise, I'll be better. I won't even breathe in your presence, my queen. I kneel before you, bowed my head, and don't chop my head off." And Rob is like, "Right here. I don't need you. Bye now." Proud of him. Proud of him. All right, that's about all I got. I'll bring you along for today's adventures after church, which is going to gobble up 2.5, 3 hours of the day. Right in the middle of the morning. I'm not a fan, man. I tell you what, I like a church service that's an hour and it's early. Get there at 9. Okay? Boom, you're done at 10. You got the rest of the day to get stuff done. Yeah. When I was growing up, yeah, my church service was an hour. It was nice. Even though I was being forced to go. So, let's go take a look at this movie. There it is. Look at it. Yep. Look at that bad boy. Just sitting out there drawing in fish. Yeah. What's going to be cool about that is that's going to draw in all the little bluegills and the baby crappies and stuff. And the predator fish are going to follow because big fish follow the food source. I'm going to have monster fish rolling off the end of my dock. It happened the other night when I was out there playing around with the fish finder, learning about the fish finder. Something big rolled, grabbed a fish right 20 feet away from the boat. I was like, "Oh man, I should be chunking musky lures." Yeah. I don't know. If everything goes smooth today as far as what I want to get done, the sun is coming up. There's not a cloud in the sky. If it's decent as far as warmth, Scrunch and I might go out in the boat and do a little musky fishing. You know, so before this thing freezes over, because once it freezes over, it's going to skim over fast. And then once a lake skims over, this is a pattern I've noticed in my 50-some years on this planet. When the lake skims over and you get about that much ice, it's there. You could have a 60-degree day and it won't go away. The lake skims over fast, but it doesn't thaw fast. Yeah. So once that skim layer is on the lake, it's there. And there's no more open water fishing. So, yeah. So maybe. We'll see. Scrunch wants to go out and wet a line. But, all right, stay tuned.